All right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community, I'm back again with another video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Mr. Jason A. Faria, also known as Shockblast. So Shockblast was born in Dearborn, Michigan, and his primary MOS is SWAT specialist. And you know SWAT stands for Special Weapons and Tactics. He is known as the Breacher, and his secondary MOS is choir. So I guess he's a singer. If you're not familiar with a Breacher, the Breacher of the SWAT team is the one that will carry the giant tool such as this that they use to force entry on a locked door to get to their suspects. Let's see if that can. All right, there you go. There you have it. So what they do is they take this and they hit the door and pretty much breaks it off of its hinges. They also need to have a general understanding of how force entry tools work. So they're aside from this, they may need to know how to use other tools if they don't have this or if this is not working. So you can pause and get a look at this file card, and it'll give you a little bit more information about Shockblast. So Shockblast was originally debuted in G.I. Joe Special Missions 17, 22, and 26, and that happened in January of 1989. He was also in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue number 86, also lending his person to the Devil Dues comic. He also would debut as an action figure in the year 1988. He was repainted and re-released as Night Force in 1989. A whole entire new version was released of Shockblast in 1992 as part of DEF. He was a part of the DEF unit with Bulletproof, Mutt, and Cutter, and they were going against Headman and trying to defeat him and pretty much arrest him, put him away. We know, and I'm talking a lot about Shockblast. However, we all know, if you've been a fan of G.I. Joe for any number of years prior to the 90s, then you know his name was Shockwave. Apparently, Hasbro lost the copyright to the name Shockwave to Leonard Toys. I don't know how that happened, but I guess they must have let it lapse or something. So we got a re-release of Shockwave or Shockblast in the modern era, and he was released in 2008 with Destro. He was also recolored in the modern form in his Night Force colors in 2009, and that figure you can find if you find it new or packaged in its original packaging. He was sold with a Night Creeper. So what you see before you hear, I decided to create my own Shockblast figure, and I use Marauder parts, and let's take a look at them. So the original modern was a cool recreation of the original figure. However, I wanted to make him more of what I thought he should have looked like. I didn't really like the colors too much on the original re-release, the original modern. So I went with this blue camo body, black vest, and I put FBI on him because FBI would allow him to do his job over pretty much the whole country and other countries under the federal umbrella. So I just did a bunch of pouches all over. So you'll see he has a pouch in the front. He has a second sidearm right here. He has his, what is that, a Mac 10? Or is it a Uzi? I'm not sure. We'll revisit that. He's got another sidearm right here, and he has numerous pouches in his back. So I left this open because I was going to do a hook so that he can mount this to his back, but it's just too flimsy, so I kind of said I'll revisit that later. He's also wearing a hat. Like we know, his original character came with a hat. So I also took it one step further, and I gave him a helmet with night vision goggles. He also has eye protection here, and I use that space to hook his assault rifle there. So this is what you're getting here. And I kind of like this one a little bit more. Maybe the only changes I would make to this is get some arms that wasn't this armor right here. Maybe some plain arms, kind of like this. But of course, that's an armor arm, but I'm just trying to make an example here. And that's pretty much my version of Shockblast. Now, the cool part about having his name change, nobody says that we can't create a Shockblast figure and later on a Shockwave figure. So, I mean, the character, I give him a great grade of a B, because he was cool, and you don't, up until then you didn't see much police officer figures. You had Mutt. I think that was the only one. But then you have him, and then later on came Wide Scope. Law and Order, and Surefire. I'm sorry, I was blanking out on what Surefire's name was. Sorry about that. But anyway, so this is my custom version of the character Shockblast, Shockwave, however you want to identify him. I think it's a real cool character. If you have the original modern version, all good. But I just thought I wanted to recreate the figure, or the character rather, and make a figure that I thought was more true to what I thought he would have looked like. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video right here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free, put them down below. I'll get to them at my earliest convenience. I appreciate you all. Every Friday, we're going to be hitting this. So, stay tuned. All right. Thank you again. Appreciate you all. Until the next one. Peace.